Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Voles, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, indeedy. Oh, my. We have rode around to another Monday, October 13th. Hard to believe, isn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. Yes, indeedy. But yeah, here we are. We're almost halfway through October. Leaves for some of you guys are probably coming on down. We got a few here in our market, not a whole lot, but we do have some coming down, and leaf season is going to be rocking and rolling pretty heavy pretty soon. And for some of you guys, I'm sure it already is. And you haven't pulled your hair out yet, so don't. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. We're not going to go down the leaf cleanup and leaf removal road today, but I always like to bring it up this time of the year, just to keep everybody honest, if you will. So, anyways, hey, it is Monday morning here on Turfs Up Radio. Oh, Aaron Walls and Eric and Daniel, and here it's my turn, and then after me we got King Darren. So yeah, going to been a good morning. Going to be a great day, great afternoon. Be sure to share Turfs Up Radio with all of your friends and neighbors. And there's you got a lot of colleagues out there that and let them know about Turfs Up Radio. Just let them know. Let's get it out there. Let's share it, and let them decide who the best is at helping them with their business. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of good help out there. There really is. But the show hosts here on Turfs Up Radio are pretty daggone good. A lot of experience from, hey, just into business and, rolling a cup 2, 3, 4 years along. And how do you make that decision to go from, your full-time job into working full-time for yourself? And, so we got all different perspectives here on Turfs Up. And that's what's really awesome. We got all different size companies. And so there's no reason that somebody can't reel in here to Turfs Up Radio and just number one, have fun listening to some outstanding content, both live and podcast version on the replays. So yeah, let's do that. Let's make a pact, if you will, that we're all going to share Turfs Up Radio. It's funny, Katie, anytime she's with me and we're out, and and it doesn't matter where we're at. I mean, because everybody's listening out of town too. But if we pull in somewhere and there's the lawn crew there, she'll roll up to them and say, "Hey, y'all ever heard of Turfs Up Radio?" So she is one of our very biggest promoters here at WLS and Profits Unlimited for Turfs Up Radio. And we put it on everything we send out of here. Just, hey, join us live on Turfs Up. So, hey, let's share Turfs Up. And Turfs Up's going to be sharing a lot with you guys next week. God, can y'all believe it? Expo is ready to roll in town, and that's always fun. It's going to be fun this year, as always. And just a lot of people. And we'll get Bam on a little bit later this week, and we'll see what they think the forecast is going to be. We don't want to have them too far out because, the too far out's too far out, to get you anything accurate. But regardless of what the weather is for the expo, it's going to be a good expo, no doubt about it. It always is. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. If you guys have not decided 100% for sure if you're coming or not coming, there is still time, man. Still time. Get on down here, up here, over here, whichever direction you got to travel in. But get yourself to Louisville, Kentucky, and experience something that you won't experience anywhere else in the country. It's just that simple. There's a lot of great trade shows throughout the country. I mean, that we all know that. I know it. You know it. We all know it. But this is the Cadillac. This is the premier version of what you want to see and how you want to get it, and everything that's inside's outside and equipment wise. And I mean, you've got access to everybody that you want to talk to and see. So make time to be there. And if you can't, rest assured that your crew here at Turfs Up Radio's got you covered, starting with the prayer breakfast and rolling all the way through Friday afternoon. So if you can't make it, something you can do is just keep us tuned in on Turfs Up Radio, and we're going to have a ton of live interviews, and you're going to think you're there even if you're not there. So keep us on your earbuds, keep us tuned in, and that's what we'll be doing with that. But man, what a great start to the day here in Louisville. Another awesome morning. Weather was perfect this morning. I'm not even going to call it cool. I've got a pair of shorts on and a sleeved pullover, but I don't know. Let's see. What is the temperature out there right now? 108. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, let's see. Let's see. We are at 58 degrees here in Louisville, Kentucky right now. So I think we're going up to a high of somewhere in the mid 70s, I think. Let's see. Let me look at my BAM map here real quick. 76 and sunny. And it looks like we don't have any rain in our forecast through Friday, and then some rain over the weekend, and then back nice weather Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the long-term forecast out there with BAM. So that's perfect, man. Rain on the weekends. That's perfect for us contractors, right? Be sure, hey, we can get our work in during the week, and I, I know a lot of people that don't work outside like we all do, right? The reality of it is it's awesome. It's sunny during the week, rain on the weekend doesn't bother me, especially this time of the year. Now, if it's lake season, I like to have some decent weather on the weekend, but then we're normally the time of the year where, everything is, good. So, but yeah, it looks like weather's pretty good, and up until Saturday, and then going to have a little rain, and then maybe finish up on Sunday, and back to good weather for Monday. So, yeah, sounding good on the weather department. And we will get a lot of stuff done today and tomorrow, and all this week. We got a lot of mowing going on today, some power seeding going on, a little fertilization going on. So, yeah, we got a good day. Curious about you guys. How's your day going? Let us know. Let me know. We got our new text line number for the radio station here. If you haven't heard it yet, I'm gonna give it out real slow here. Okay. So we got 856-446-8873. That's 856-446-8873. And you can check out our website. We've got some changes up on our website. Darren's been working really, really diligently hard on that for real, y'all. And would like y'all to check that out and see what's going on there too. And but yeah, you can find that number right there as well. So if you want to text me, you guys can use that number, 856-446-8873. Or if you want to call me, you can call me on that number. And you guys got my personal cell as well. So you don't have to throw that away. But yeah. So hope you guys had a great weekend. I know we had an awesome weekend. Daniel, for those of y'all that maybe didn't hear us toward the end of the week, Daniel, we had his rehearsal dinner Friday, which was a good time, and had a really, really small, quaint little place down on Frankfort Avenue. A lot of you guys eat a lot of those restaurants when you come in town for the expo along Frankfort Avenue. It's right there by downtown, and it's really close. And if you don't know about Frankfort Avenue restaurants and things, and you're coming to the expo, absolutely check some of those out. Frankfort Avenue. And there's like 6,723,982 restaurants, going down Frankfurt Avenue, and you will not find a bad one. Trust me. I mean, you just won't. We had his rehearsal dinner actually at a place called the Manhattan Project, and actually, you guys Turfs Up Radio may remember we had dinner there. Eric Jones, that's where I met Eric Jones for the first time. Um, was there, and actually, I believe his father was with him. I met his father there at the Manhattan Project, and it was just a really nice place to go and good atmosphere, um, medium range pricing. So it's not cheap, but it's not Jeff Ruby's. But guarantee you have a good time. And like I said, there's a ton of restaurants up and down Frankfurt Avenue. So a lot of you guys that are staying downtown, and you don't want to go to, and you don't want to spend $300 or $400 a dinner for every night you're in town. Uh, you don't have to, and you can get some really, really, really good food, and more importantly, good camaraderie and discussion, and at some of these places along Frankfurt Avenue, which is within just a couple miles of where a lot of you guys would be staying downtown anyway, 2-3 miles at the most. So it's an easy Uber. Um, I wouldn't walk it just because I wouldn't walk it, but nothing wrong with walking it. But it'd be a pretty decent little walk to go back and forth walking. But it's a 5 minute Uber ride, So, but anyways, hey, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back, and we're gonna talk a little bit about our weekend a little bit, and move along into our profit time. So you guys stay right where you're at. Don't you go anywhere. Daniel is with me today, like he is a lot of days here. He's got a headset on, and we're going to talk.
Bonjour.
Yeah. What's that mean?
Hello.
Oh, okay. I figured it was probably something like that. Good day. So, but yeah, he's still speaking French from his trip. So it was kind of neat. You did your honeymoon first.
Yeah.
How would you recommend that?
Um, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but
Because I don't want people to thinking, damn, man, you got married Saturday and he ain't even off today.
really just it was more of a circumstantial thing.
Yeah.
So
But
If Colin would have been not getting married, having, really like the prompt to go, then probably wouldn't have went before, but
yeah,
so I
I
mean,
got you.
it's not that I would or wouldn't, but
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to be like, oh, you're married, then you go away.
Yeah.
But also it wasn't like it's not a letdown per se, but
Yeah. I hear you. I mean, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know both sides of it.
yeah,
You'd only experience one or the other
right.
most. Oh, my goodness. But absolutely. But yeah, we had a great time. And I don't know if I shared with y'all or not, but Daniel had me as his best man in his wedding. And that was certainly a huge honor, and I really did appreciate him asking me to do that for him. And it was pretty weird giving a best man speech and a dad speech, you know. But I don't know. It was one of the tougher things that we did. But anyways, pretty good thing. So um, Doug said, congratulations. How long have you and your wife been together?
Since February of 2019, I think 2019. Yeah.
So there you go. There you go. So it's at 19, 26 years almost, right? Yeah. So for good deal. Good deal. Well, we had a good time. I'll tell you what, my thighs were tight or something, whatever they get from dancing, because we danced about 3 hours. Not total, but I bet I had 2 good hours of that three at least out there trying to. We call it dancing, you know what I mean. Just out there listening to music and wiggling around and
Mhm.
doing, doing that kind of thing. But we had a really good time. Food was good, drinks were good, and yeah, just had a really good time. And the weather was perfect. Got to thank the guys at BAM for sending outstanding weather Daniel's way for his wedding. It was I don't know if it could have been any better. I mean, it was a little warm sitting in the sun,
Yeah,
but I mean, it was temperature wise, it was 70, mid 70s.
yeah,
So it wasn't bad, but sitting directly in the sun and not being able to move like your all's guest, I'm
yeah.
sure it got a little warm on them. But they only
The
had to sit
ceremony
out
was
there
really only
what
10
20 minutes. Yeah, it was
minutes, 15
fast.
minutes.
Yeah,
Seemed really fast up there. I don't know how long it
yeah,
seemed to everyone else, but
yeah. I don't know either. I really wasn't paying
it's
attention,
very quick.
but yeah, it was quick. And the lady that married y'all was very good at what she did, and yeah. So, did you ever get your thing signed?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna get that.
I got you.
She was,
Yeah.
I guess, doing her
I don't even know that I
stuff.
don't even remember getting mine the same day. I might have, but I don't even know. But now I'm sounding, like my mom and dad, but you know. But no, we had a great time, and again wanted to thank Daniel for having me be his best man. That was awesome, and we had a good trip, and when I say a good trip, really wasn't a trip, but it was here in Louisville, but just a good Friday, good Saturday, and wish you and Caitlin the best of luck, Daniel,
Thank you.
forever. So Mike Murphy said, congratulations, Daniel.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So, all your Turfs Up Radio friends.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about today. First of all, tomorrow night, guys, with the expo, you know, the following week, we moved our webinar up a little bit. So don't forget, tomorrow night, the 14th, is our monthly webinar for the Profit Circle. And we got John and Jonathan out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, that are going to talk to us about robotic mowing, how they implemented it within their company, and, the contracts and how they do with the service agreements, writing the contract, the ROI, and so it's just going to be a great thing. So hopefully you guys can all make it tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I know it's right there in the middle of the week, kind of, but I thought it'd be best for you guys getting it into your work schedules, and didn't want to do it on a weeknight that you guys may be traveling for the expo or be out of town. So, yeah, so be sure to mark your calendar. Daniel, I'm sure, has got the link out for the Zoom, and
Yes.
look forward to having a great participation tomorrow night. Whether you're doing robotic mowing or not at this point, I think this is going to be a great opportunity to hear from a couple guys that have implemented and are running 50 plus robotic mowers in their business. So,
I think even more so for those who aren't doing it.
yeah, and the value of the implementation potentially of that in your business, and certainly how it can help you. So, Stephen West said, "Congratulations, Vitamin D."
Thank
So
you.
there we go. There we go. Seth, same thing. Congratulations, Vitamin D. So
Appreciate you.
there you go. But yeah, he appreciates that, and for each and every one of you guys, and some of you guys, old married guys out there, can maybe still shoot him a little bit of advice if you want to do that or whatnot. Feel free to do that, and we move along from that. But hey, for you guys that are coming to the expo, I just want to remind you, if you're a new listener here on Turfs Up, we're going to be there. We're going to be covering it top to bottom, beginning to end, and but no children under 12 are allowed inside or in the outside demo area. So. Um, just so you know that. Again, not trying to be a Debbie Downer on anybody's party, but just want to make sure you don't get here and say, "Oh God, I never heard that." Nobody said anything about that.
I
So
never actually knew that, but I've also always noticed, like, hey, there's not a lot of, I guess any
it
kids.
just started a few years ago, actually.
Really?
I don't know how long it goes back, but
I don't
it
remember ever being a lot, which makes
yeah,
sense, but
yeah,
maybe there's just never really been a lot either way.
yeah. So there we go. Looks like we may have a Seth sent me a text. He said, speaking of the Profit Circle, it would like to give a big shout out to Wayne for a video response to buy equipment. It helped me in my decision on a mini skid. Zero regrets. Well, thanks, man. We're always here to help. Daniel is takes the time and effort to get those things edited down to where they make sense. Because y'all should sit in there sometime when we do some of them. I mean, it's like I was going to say Laurel and Hardy, but Daniel's fine. I'm Laurel and Hardy sometimes putting these things together. But Seth, hey, we appreciate that. Mike does have some advice for you.
Okay.
He said, "Remember, you're not perfect. She's not perfect, but you married perfectly."
There you go.
That's some pretty decent advice for real. You know,
Yeah.
that is that's really good. Yeah, Mike, I give you that a boy on that one. That was pretty daggone good. So we need a little applause thing, Daniel, on our board so we can yay for people.
True.
But it's funny, and we'll move along after this. But I think we had a really good group of people there. I don't know how many people end up showing up, but it was a good crowd. It was pretty busy in there, and I think you had to have close to what y'all thought were coming, at least, because it was a pretty good crowd, and music was good, like I said, and the food was really good. And shout out to Caitlin's mom and dad for putting on a really great display and party for everybody. You know, did a great job, and food was outstanding, and flowers were pretty, and I think her mom and Caitlin and whatnot did their flowers themselves, so they looked really, really good. So, other than that, let's take a short break, and we're going to come back here and get serious into profit time. Don't you guys go anywhere. We'll be right back with more profit time here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. I got my software invoice uh, yesterday, actually. Auto run, Daniel, and it's kind of funny. And I noticed on the receipt that now it's we utilize single ops is who we use, but now I noticed on their receipt it's got LMN Greenius or whatever that is, and um, single ops on it. So I guess single ops has now acquired both LMN and the Greenius or
Yeah.
Greenius or
Greenius, probably. Like
Greenius.
genius, but for green.
Yeah. So
They actually are going by a new name now.
so oh, are they single
Yeah.
ops?
Yeah.
Did not notice that. Yeah.
I got an email
Oh,
last week on
oh,
it.
did you? This is and that's the really the only reason I was talking about that and bringing that up is not promoting anybody's software over anybody else's. There's a lot of good software out there for sure, but I just thought it was kind of neat to see that you got more companies partnering together and acquiring companies and buying things out, and everybody's got their good. That's the thing. Everybody's got their good. So we'll see how it goes. See how it goes, and
Granum?
I know Granum,
Granum, I think is how you pronounce it.
huh?
So, yeah,
Anything else, or is that just it, Granum?
that's it.
It's interesting. We have to look into that just a tad. I mean, it really doesn't say anything about any of it, does it?
Just a
So,
whole new thing. Kind
just
of, we're
whole new
not highlighting one
brand.
of the three in
Yeah.
particular. We're just starting, creating something. I think it actually means in Latin, it said it means something like seed or something like that. So
Oh,
like the seeds of that help grow your business or
that
something
help
like
grow your
that was what
business.
they were talking about.
Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah. Speaking of seed, Doug said he's picking up some grass seed today. He said it's wet and miserable there in Pennsylvania where he's at
Hmm.
today. Hopefully it's rain that y'all want, Doug, and it's making things more beneficial for you and as you move into the fall season. But he's picking up more seed and fertilizer today. Got to keep plugging. I hear you, man. I mean that's where we're at too. We're still trying to rock the aerator season along, and we're still going. We're still going. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Not sure about that one. Let's see. Well, guys wanting to know about our aerator. So hopefully we don't have to rent another aerator. We'd like to get ours back. Ours
Yeah.
has been in the service for a ride-on aerator's been in the service for I don't know, week number 2 now. So,
Yeah. Well,
but
this is just a great example of like in this case, it's not like we don't take care of equipment, but just it goes to show people, a lot of people at least, and there was a lot of comments on a particular YouTube video that we did. It was like, talking about, well, I have, you don't need to buy this expensive equipment, and you overestimate the amount of downtime that there is, and blah 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 about equipment, and going into debt for equipment. And it's like, I don't think in this case it's that exact scenario, but it does go to show you where not having the equipment, you know you just don't, you can't get work done, you can't make money. There's not,
yeah,
like, it's not that hard to understand, and I don't know why people don't understand that buying, and like I said, I don't think it's cheap, but like when you do buy cheap equipment and rely, like especially on your weekly services with cheap equipment,
yeah.
you will pay for it eventually somehow.
Hmm.
I mean, it's really, I don't understand, like, when you go into any other business thinking about like, oh, should I get cheap equipment or should I get, like,
Right.
would you want to go to a restaurant that had, tables that were falling over and chairs that were on three legs and grills that were from, 1842? And but people just, for some reason, they get into this industry and it's like, what's the cheapest thing I can get?
Right. Yeah. And you're right. And we've talked about it on here 100 times, and we're not going to beat that horse too hard right now. But to your point is, and you got to have other, excuse me, you got to have other options available to you, and especially, if you're a service that only owns one of something,
Right.
what
One of those one-off things.
one of those one-off things like, who do you have that you work with,
Right.
whether it's a rental company or a competitor. I know it's like us with Dave at bowling. I mean, we kind of share equipment back and forth when it comes to aerating and seating,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
then sometimes we're just using ours, sometimes we're using his and ours,
Right.
and something vice versa. So,
Yeah. This isn't like a one for one situational thing on that, but it does reinforce why you do in those other services, especially, get high quality equipment.
yeah, that's right. Because you never know, and I mean, I don't know. We got our, our ride on, and that's where you kind of get lazy too. Uh, Not just lazy. I mean, it's a heck of a lot more production. Let me say that too. So depending on how many properties you're servicing,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
also
but
the equipment is a big part in like keeping good employees. When you have good equipment, it makes it easier to do the job. It's, better employee experience,
yeah,
which is good for retention, good for quality of job. So it's a snowball effect when you have good equipment too.
right, right. So anyway, we're looking forward to getting our our ride on aerator back. We rented one last week. Didn't and rented a nice one. It was Stinger, which a lot of guys really like those, and it was a pretty big one. It was a little bigger than even ours, and which kind of came back to bite us in the butt because we had 1 yard that the normal our rider or the smaller Stinger would have fit in the backyard gate.
Mm.
But so we got a backyard left to do, and I don't know, a handful of other ones, but we can get finished this week for sure. Or that's especially with the good weather. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. And it's been a good season for aeration overseeding for us. we're going to leave the weird customer fact out of it today, but it has been good season for aeration overseeding, and certainly we'll continue to take the aeration. We're not taking any more power seeding work at this point, but we'll finish what we got, and that'll take us to the end, and then we'll aerate as long as we get phone calls. So not gonna not gonna pass that one up because that's nothing better than aerating right here before your fall fertilizer goes down to let that air, water, and fertilizer. It's that basic when you look at it from an agronomy standpoint. You know, let's open it up a little bit and give those roots a chance to expand and grow and make things happen. Make things happen. So. But what I did want to talk about, Daniel, and I think you and I will have fun talking about this, um, on a positive kind of thing is I was reading and I saw this, so I printed it off. But it's 5 things to quit right now, and this could be in life and or business. And when I was looking at this, it got me thinking a little bit about it. And, more so because I think this was more written about your life,
Mm-hmm.
things to quit doing in your life. But in looking at it, it actually, there's a direct correlation to business. And the first thing that it addressed was stop putting yourself down. And, you know, I hear that a lot with smaller companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I'm small, or I'm small, and this is why I don't do this, or I'm small,
I think
and
a big one is I'm just.
and we talked about that. I'm just
Yeah.
a 1 truck operation, or I'm just a 2 truck operation.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just a grass cutter. I'm just.
yeah, and that is it. That goes back to the putting yourself down. You
Yeah.
know, don't ever say I'm just.
Yeah.
Because the reality of it is, what you are is a entrepreneur. You're somebody that has invested time, effort, and money to do something that a lot of people wish they had the guts to do. So don't put yourself down by saying, I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I think people confuse modesty a lot of times with that. It's like, well, I'm just being modest. Well, that's good to be modest, but you shouldn't also limit yourself.
right.
Don't like there's a lot of things out there that limit yourself, that can limit you, but you shouldn't be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, have confidence in yourself, whatever you're doing. Because we can't, like, you made the choice to get into this business. You made, like, every thing that even that you've ever done in your life has been a choice to do or not do something, So I think having it, have like being accountable for those choices and then being like, okay, well, I made the choice to be in the lawn and landscape industry. I didn't, I didn't fall here off a mountaintop and land on this mower.
Right.
So be proud of that choice and like continue to grow and make more choices that lead to more, doing.
And that's a really good point, Daniel, when you talk about being proud of what you're doing, have pride in what you're doing. I mean, that's exactly why, on our website, we have pride on there. And it's an acronym for us of professional results and daily efforts. You know, take pride in what you're doing. And a lot of people here's something where small versus large can be different. And I'll say it as till the day I die. The smaller you are, the easier it is to make sure that pride is demonstrated because
Mm-hmm.
it's generally you as the owner operator and 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And if you don't have pride in that situation, then it's even easier then too to also spread that
to that's
to
right.
whoever's with you or whatever.
So be proud of what you're doing. You know, and so is yeah. number one of things to quit is, you know, don't stop putting yourself down. Have pride in what you're doing. Know that size doesn't matter when it comes to pride, you know, and know that also training, education, and knowledge is what's going to separate you from your competitor, regardless of the size of your company. You know, sell the aspects of, if you're a small company, hey, what are those positives? Hey, well, you're talking to the owner. The owner's going to do the work. If you've got a problem, you're dealing with the owner. Those are the positive things, you know, that you can promote. Now, also, as you get a little bit bigger, those are can turn into negatives in a positive way to your customers in how you explain it. I know, and let me explain that because that came out really confusing. When I was a one and two truck operation, I sold my services to clients based on the aspect of, hey, you've got owner operator. You know, you're talking to them. We're doing the work. We're not sending, you know, a crew out here that we're just here to put some time in. You know, hey, I want to make sure the job's right because I'm counting on your loyalty, Miss Smith or ABC Company, to stay with me and help me grow my company. Isn't that important to you to have somebody you can work with like that? And absolutely, that's important to them to work like that. But also, as your company grows, then that story translates into, you know, hey, you know, we're small enough to care, but we're big enough not to have to worry about calling you and telling you our trucks broke down. We can't mow your yard this week, you know, because we've got enough equipment, we got enough vehicles, blah, blah, blah. So, whatever size company you've got is how you allow that presentation to go, but have pride and let that pride be demonstrated throughout your company, whether you're a one truck operation or you're the True Greens of the world, you know, and know that there's a fine line sometimes when it comes to training and education and knowledge to decide whether you're just confident or arrogant. And I think we can all agree on that there is a fine line there. But check your ego at the door, regardless of the size, but have pride in what you're doing and get rid of the term "I'm just." You know, don't minimize yourself. Stop putting yourself down. Another thing that I think we need to quit and is right on target is living in the past with our businesses. You know, think about think about what you can do. Nothing wrong with looking back, you know, right? I mean, hindsight's 2020,
Yeah. Well,
but
there's a difference between learning from it and living in it.
in living in it. And so, give us a quick example, Daniel. Let's think about it. Living in the past would be the
Well, you can live in the past in several ways. You can be like happy, like, oh gosh, we did so good last year, but you don't plan for the next year, and the next year you don't do as well. You can also be like, oh man, last year sucked, and you can always just be like, man, we missed this opportunity, we did that, and then the next year rolls around and you're still thinking about that, and you haven't done anything good again.
right.
So it can be either way, whether it's a good living in the past in a negative way, like from negative experiences or positive experiences. It's not it's not helping you move forward. Um, but learning from it does help you move forward. You can still like enjoy it, appreciate it, but you don't obviously want to just always be there living in it.
Living in it. Move along. That's right. And I tell you that this other third thing that really this was a big problem that I had in my business was trying to please everybody. You know, just trying to make everybody happy, whether that meant employees, whether that meant customers, whatever it meant, just trying to be everything to everybody. And kind of what I want you guys to think about, and this really helped me a long time ago to think about it this way. It's kind of like a running track that goes around a football field in high school. Most of them are set up like that.
Yeah.
You know, picture yourself out there on that track. And when you put yourself on the track, what do each of those runners get into? Each of those runners have to pick a lane to start that race. Now, just because we start in one lane doesn't mean we're not going to change lanes during that race, if you will, or business life. And that's where it took me a while to understand that it was much more important much more important for me to pick a lane that I was going to run my business in. Because what I caught myself doing was some days I was in the inside lane, sometime I was in the middle lane, sometime I was in the outside lane. But I caught myself trying to be everything to everybody and pleasing everybody. When at the end of the day, the only constant that you have within your business is you. You're the constant. You know, anybody or anything else within any contracts you've got, any employees you've got, and I'm not minimizing contracts, employees, or talking negative. I just want you guys to understand you are the positive. And I don't want that to come across the wrong way. I don't want it to come across arrogant. I don't want it to come across any way other than customers are temporary stops, employees are temporary stops. So you've got to constantly be thinking about what's best for the company, what's best overall for all the employees, all the customers, and are you willing to make some changes and stop trying to be everything to everybody? And I can think our change that's coming up is the fee that we're going to put into our terms and conditions. That's stop trying to please everybody, right? I mean, that's a small example of that. Wouldn't you say that qualifies?
I think it's part of it.
You know, it's part of a solution to a problem that we've got with call aheads, and you still get there and the gate's locked or the dog's out or
Yeah.
whatever the situation is, but in an effort to try to please everybody, oh, well, that's okay. We'll come back. No, it's not okay. So you got to take the time to bite the bullet, if you will, and know that the worst thing you do is trying to please everybody. You got to pick a lane. Pick a lane, stay in your lane, and know that there's multiple lanes that may work
Yeah.
for your company. But just know that you can't be bouncing around because a lot of times the customers that get us started in business are not the same customers that 2 years in or 5 years in or that's different lengths of time for all of us.
Yeah.
But they may not. In a better way of maybe saying that, the little old lady on Social Security that we all had, and maybe some of us still have some, they got us started, but their needs were different than
I think too
others.
there's a like the we almost in this industry you get into business and you just like happen upon those types of people because they're maybe the easiest to
They're,
sell, the easiest targets, whatever you
yeah,
those are the people that are the easy yeses. But we don't know why they're easy yeses. We don't know how to make them profitable easy yeses. And so they are usually not profitable and all the things you just said. But there's, if that's your lane though, like that's still a lane, but sometimes it takes time in business to learn like how to be profitable, what needs to be in a contract, to even use contracts, how to hire people. And so all those things that you don't know, you can learn how to be in that lane. Like you can be the Dollar General model in the green industry if you want to be. But like there's a reason Dollar General's successful. They're not just successful because things are cheap. They're successful because they know how to make things both cheap and profitable. So, like, if you want to figure that out and know based on your numbers that you can do things somehow cheaper and be competitive at that cheaper rate and get those customers that are more price concerned shoppers, like that's a lane on that track. But it's not likely that you just happen to start doing it and get those customers that are cheap and do it the same way forever and be successful. Like you're
Right.
still going to have to learn lessons, learn how to, like I said, do all the things that I just said and more. Learn how to be more efficient, get out of the truck, become a manager, you know, manage multiple crews because you're going to have to do it at scale to make the same money. Like that's also a learning process. It's not
Right.
just, oh, I will just stick with this lane because I already have, X amount of customers and it's easy and whatever, and I can just do it like that forever.
Right.
Like there's still both ways are good possible ways, but both ways take education, training, and knowledge.
Right. And that leads us into the next things that we need to quit doing, and that's the fear of change. We got to be willing to put ourselves through that pain of change. So, hey, we're not going to try to please everybody. So that means we're probably going to have to change some things, number one, but also maybe we're going to have to, if we're looking at different clientele or we're looking at diversification of services. Okay. It's like us here at Wayne's Lawn Service. Just within the last couple of years, we've added landscape lighting and holiday lights. So number one, don't be complacent. But number two is, understand that you're going to have to go through the fear of change and the pain of change. And that's what holds a lot of people back. You get a little bit comfortable in doing what you're doing. And I'm not saying that you got to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. I'm just saying what we need to think about sometimes is, hey, we got to be willing to make the changes that are necessary.
Yeah. And change is, a lot of things. There's a lot of ways to change, even by doing the same services you're doing. There's ways to
Yeah.
change within doing those.
I mean, software.
Yeah.
Software is a change. Hey, you still can have a paper route. You could still do a Excel spreadsheet on your own. Excuse me. Or you can engage in software that's going to make that a little bit easier all the way around for you. It's still doing the same thing, right? It's still giving a truck or a route to a crew lead and getting a job done during the day at a certain number of stops. So that, to Daniel's point, that change can be and is uh, not always a change in service, but a change in how you just do the same things you're already doing to help you be more efficient with it, you know. And that's actually something we got Tim Wasmer coming on with us here in November with Snowscape,
Mm-hmm.
to talk about, an implementation of something, even if you're running software, you know, that you can use within your business. And Tim's been on here before, but I think they got a really good topic to talk about. So we're going to have him here on Turfs Up Radio with us in November. But getting back to the 5 things that we want to quit right now and make some adjustments within our own businesses. Like we said, number one, is putting yourself down. Eliminate the "I'm just" mindset. I think that is very limiting. Living in the past, not being able to move on into what you need to be doing within your company because you're in that comfort zone, trying to please everybody, fearing change, and last but not least, as we wrap our show up today, I just want um, to talk about good deal, Doug. Doug says they love Snowscape, so good
Yes.
deal. I have to I'm sure Tim knows that, and that was a connection through Turfs Up, I believe. So good deal. So last but not least is overthinking. Now, I'm not saying don't do your due diligence. So I don't want anybody to hear me say that. But also, I think there's some, what do you call it, drawback, or sometimes you think too hard about you.
Yeah. Especially stuff that really doesn't take that much thought. That's where it's like people spend too much time. It's like, well, should our new uniform shirts be, dark olive or forest green? You know, when you
Right.
look at it, it's the same color.
Yeah.
Like, why are you spending a week thinking about that and asking 442 people on Facebook?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Just make a choice.
Yeah, just make a choice. Don't overthink it. Uh, Doug said it was Profit Circle that closed the deal for him on Snowscape. So good deal. We have to let Tim know that. I'm sure Doug has, but good deal. Doug will save some of those for when Tim hops on here with us. But, you know, that is it, Daniel. It's don't overthink. And I'm a little OCD on stuff, but I I don't overthink it. I don't think. And I tell you one thing that I have overthink.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it. But I think what we have done some overthinking on here is what to do about call heads. So that's going to be our pain of change. And it's time, like Daniel the other day, how'd you say it? We've talked about this too much already and not done nothing. Basically, you didn't say it that way, but we've talked about it enough. It's time to make a change. So
And the
don't.
great thing about overthinking or lack of overthinking or whatever proper thinking is you make the choice, and then if it doesn't work out, you just make another choice and try something else.
And
You're a business.
Yeah, it's your business. Just make the
If
change.
the dark olive shirts don't work out, go to the forest green.
Go to the forest green, But that is true. That is true. There's some things that you just need to limit the time and capacity of brain waves that you want to put toward it. And there's other things, service implementations, maybe software implementation within your business that, do your due diligence. But again, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, because I'm trying to think. We just talked to somebody consulting wise not too long ago that, and I can't remember what the situation was, but they were just overthinking what it was we were talking about. I cannot remember what the hell it was, but it was just a point of pure and simple overthinking it. Just, hey, man, let's implement it. Let's do it, and let's go with it. And make adjustments if we need to. So it sounds easy. And it really is easy. But who makes it hard? We do. So, hey, don't put it hard on yourself. Hey, King Darren's going to be hopping on right now. Appreciate you guys being on with us. And as always, remember, profit is not a dirty word. We'll see you on Wednesday.